The musical Hamilton said, "It's planting seeds in a garden you never get to see." In this speech, you'll find out why I take this quote and think of it so metaphorically and so literally at the same time. Today, I'll be talking about climate change in our lives and what we can do to reduce its impacts. Climate change can and will impact all of us, so it's important to know its influences. Not only have I been an advocate for the environment for years, and I've studied this for years, but I was part of the environmental task force for the San Diego Unified School District. While climate change is such a broad topic, I'll be breaking my speech into 3 main points. Firstly, I'll talk about the main problem it's caused. Secondly, I'll talk about why nothing has really been done to solve this issue. And lastly, I'll propose some solutions to you. So now that I've gone over what we're talking about today, I'd like to introduce you to the threats that we all face. The results of climate change have already hurt us deeply. The Earth is constantly getting hotter, and while San Diego is known for its beautiful weather all year round, 90 degrees in the beginning of November is concerning. Temperature increases caused by greenhouse gases trapped in the atmosphere, which we heavily contribute to through CO2 burned through factories and cars, which are all fueled by coal, oil, and gas. The EPA said that cars and factories account for 29% of climate change, making that its biggest contributor. And NASA said that climate change is spiking temperatures and fueling longer heat waves carrying over from the summer. Not only that, but weather patterns are changing and natural habitats are being destroyed. Hurricane Hillary was not a coincidence, and it's not natural for California to see them. We haven't seen a hurricane since 1858, over 165 years ago. Christy Dahl, principal climate scientist at the Unit of Concerned Scientists, said to LA Times, "Over the last 40 years, climate change has made hurricanes more powerful, both in terms of wind speed and the amount of water they produce as rain. To see a storm of this magnitude in this part of the world and this time of year is highly unusual." If both these patterns continue, our home will likely be inhabitable for our future families and legacies. Save the Children's site said that by 2050, 24 million children are projected to be undernourished as a threat up to the climate crisis. But this is just one of the threats that they face. Now, crops of fundamental foods are being at stake, meaning less food to the American people now. The USDA said that the hotter, drier climates can increase heat stress in crops, which can cause a national and global problem. This is where I bring in planting seeds in a garden you never get to see. On one hand, we're setting up our future legacies and generations, but for failure or for success. And on the other hand, we're trying to constantly push out food, but we're planting faulty seeds since the environment they're growing in is not making them flourish. It's important to know that climate change does not discriminate and does not care who you are really. It's going to impact all of us, but we're acting as if we have a guaranteed planet B. So now that I've gone over the obstacles we face, why is nothing really being solved? Many things are implemented into our daily lives that are for the convenience of ourselves. The US is heavily dependent on cars that are fueled by coal, oil, and gas. Because of the inconvenience of ourselves, it's so much easier to take a car to work instead of a train or trolley. San Diego does not have a strong enough public transportation system that we can take the bus or the trolley to work. So we choose to use cars instead of using those trains. A study done in Japan done by a Notre Dame student said that if you navigate Japan by a car, you are in the extreme minority, meaning Japan's impact on climate change is significantly less due to its transportation vessels. Not only us, but our economy is relied heavily on the fossil fuel industry to stimulate its funds. Originating from the Industrial Revolution in 1750, we need these industries to pump out food and some products and even some foods. The NSW government said that human activity that leads to burning fossil fuels has increased greenhouse gases. Finally, it's super hard to get an entire planet of multiple generations to change its complete mindset. Statements said that human beings find it difficult to work together because of different values. Each expects the other to act, where if we do not all cooperate, nothing will change. While these barriers are hard to look past, let's look at some further solutions. While the damage is irreversible at this point, we can minimize our future impact. Taking public transportation, or carpooling if you have a car, is a great sustainable switch. SDSU's switch to a more sustainable lifestyle on campus is by not allowing first-year students to have their car on campus. As annoying as it may seem to you, you are part of a bigger solution, and it's forcing you to use the train, trolley, or bus, which is all provided here on campus. And carpooling, if you do have a car, not only gets you to your destination faster by HOV and carpool lanes, but you are decreasing your carbon footprint by 1 ton, said this California Air Resources Board. Living sustainable is cheaper, contrary to its belief. Less plastic you're buying is less plastic in the landfill. And I have grown my finances by just switching to my healthcare products. 2 bars of shampoo and conditioner cost half of what 2 bottles of shampoo and conditioner cost for me before, and it even lasts 2 times longer. Future Green said that you can save almost up to $1,000 a year by switching to sustainable alternatives. Lastly, you could speak up and be part of movements supporting a sustainable lifestyle. Your voice counts, and you are able to make a difference. And there are many movements you can look into. The UN Environmental Program Act Now campaign wants to reach 1 billion people to take action and could reduce 20% of carbon emissions. An app called A World in Support of Act Now can measure and track your carbon footprint and helps you be more sustainably aware. Right now, I want you to be part of the action and take out your phones to scan the QR code to have this app readily available for you to be part of the solution, not part of the pollution.
Ooh. Nice.
While this speech could be never ending, I must start to finish things up. Climate change is a huge problem, but you can help out. Today, I've talked to you about the problem we face with climate change, the barriers to which we cannot fully solve this problem, and some solutions that you can implement into your lives. I hope you're encouraged now to change yourself for the greater good of yourself, but if not for yourself, for our future generations and families. Feel free to enjoy forests, national parks, and the beaches, but know that these things aren't being able to visit it if the climate change rate keeps up. As most famously said by the Lorax or the Cree tribe, it is only when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish been caught, and the last stream poisoned, when we will realize that we cannot eat money.